We'll review what you do up to 1 day before, hours before the event, an hour before the dinner is served, at the dinner, during the dinner, and after the dinner. So up to 1 day before, refer to your banquet order. Going to check your banquet order, confer with the chef, have an event order meeting where everybody reviews the event. Off-premise, you want to make sure the tents have been set up, dance floor. So hours before the event, linen is laid out by setup crew. Check and load day prior to if it's to an off-premise. Setup crew lines up linen, counts and checks quality. Tableware is set up, usually stored handles, and again the china. Most of the prior can be done the day before when possible. So if you have availability to room and you can do it a day ahead of time, by all means, you can use less labor that way and have the room set up. Truck or van can be loaded with as much as possible. Again, if you can do that the day before, the better. Floral arrangements, you have to handle those too for an event, in-house or outside vendor. Set up the kitchen working area, dish up area. So if you're doing that off premise, you have to set up that kitchen the same as you do for a sit down event. Maybe less kitchen needed because you maybe can cook it in your on-site location and just deliver the food there. Florist, entertainment, wedding cake, bartender, photographer. You've got to check that timeline and make sure all those people are showing up and delivering on appropriate times. An hour or two prior to the dinner service, bartender serves drinks, appetizers are served. Then the food arrives at the stations. Now at the dinner hour, the event planner, host, maitre d' signal for guests to enter the room. May have dinner chimes, and that could be for a sit-down event as well. The lights may dim to let you know the dinner is about to be served. Music could have been playing and then stops right when dinner is being served. During dinner hour, the flow of food is the maitre d' hotel, banquet manager, or captain control flow of food. Expediter or the food checker inspects the food. Food handlers along with the maitre d' hotel monitor sufficiency of food items. Make sure you count pieces, count guests in line, always know how much backup is available. So if you see the food is out there, you know what's in the carts and it's looking low and you have a lot of guests in line, you want to make sure you let the food expediter is letting the kitchen know right away. Wait staff will be serving the beverages, remove plates and tableware. Bus staff take plates to the kitchen, the dish room, and again, final payments discussed with the client. That's the event planner that handles that, and again, that could be handled well in advance. Now, a large aspect of service is also uniforms. Why do you have them? Well, a couple of reasons. They promote teamwork. They make everyone look professional. They create a professional identity for the players. It's a source of branding. It's a way of marketing your catering operation. You want to look at your supply. Are you purchasing these, or are you going to use a rental company that you can, they'll take care of the cleaning also? Or are you going to purchase them outside and clean and maintain them yourselves? So if you got to compare both of those. I'd say when you do it on your own, you have a little more control of the care and the maintenance of the items and the quality also. But it is costly to do that. But it ensures everyone's in uniform all the time and the standards are always maintained. You want to make sure that you avoid the deterioration of the color. If uniforms start looking tacky, then it really reflects onto the catering operation. So in this next slide, we're looking at your to-do list. Why is this important? Well, it's a way of doing a walk, a check through to make sure that everything's handled prior to an event. It could be something as easily taken care of as a squeaky door. So do the following. You can do a week before, walk outside the grounds, check inside and outside, check the trash, leaves, plants, check light bulbs, make sure they're all working, heating and air conditioning, make sure it's working properly. Make your to-do list, and annually you should do an inventory. Always check the items you have and make sure you have your complete stock of all your equipment. And then your equipment also, you need to check it, maintain it continually. Make sure it's working for your staff. And you might have a large operation where you have operations department that can check and help maintain areas. If paint's looking bad, you want to make sure that's always maintained, and keep backup of all the colors and paint swatches so that you can always maintain that room. Now, seasonally, you got to check your heating, air conditioning. The air filters need to maintain. Water, the water filters, usually it's every 6 months, but it could depend upon how busy you are. Cartridges need changed out. If you have water fountains on the premises, inside or out, you want to make sure those are drained or clean and refilled. Start them up and shut them down. Make sure they're working properly. Landscape, you want to make sure there's no sprinklers broken. Any flooding could occur, or the timing's off. The guests come into the building and all of a sudden the sprinklers turn on. Check your gutters on your building. You want to make sure that they're not full. After a heavy storm, usually lots of leaves and items get in there. Could it be rocks from the roofs too that get in there? And if that happens and guests are coming in when it's raining and you have big sheets of water coming on to guests. And for a catering event, you want to make sure you have a checklist. It helps maintain the constant service, consistency in service. It prevents redundancy and duplication, so you have staff not repeating something that somebody else just did, which wastes money. Prevent overload of items to remember. It also ensures staff and property in the room and the menu, everything's ready to go. Really important. So just a simple checklist. Caterer meets with the maitre d'hotel. The reception, the buffet, the rooms all inspected, prior to any guests getting there. The setup's all done, the bars, bistro tables, bus stations, pantry, everything's all equipped, ready to go. Everyone's looked for the backup of food and counted and make sure the proper amount of food's there. Table cards are in place. Menu cards, whatever's needed for the event. The final setup, so 30 minutes before this, the staff is ready to go and everybody's in place. Everyone's reviewing the beverage, cocktail service, and the menu. So the staff needs to go over the menu so that everybody understands and can explain the menu. If there's anything specially noted, make sure that that's noted in that meeting. The checklist also, the staff, the bartenders, the front door persons, if there's attendance for the event, that they're all on stations, their knives, their equipment's all ready, and the food runners are in place, ready to go. In a catering operation, you want to make sure part of your service etiquette is some do's and don'ts. There's do's for your appearance, manners, and services. There's also the don'ts for appearances, the manners and service. And most of it has to do with consistency and the clients that you're trying to appeal to. So typical information to use in this kind of list is your appearance. You want to look at hair, nails, makeup, earrings, and all those are uniform, that there's, no one has these huge hoops. It's always consistent. Hygiene, you want to make sure body odor, that if that ever is an issue, that everyone knows that everyone's supposed to come to work clean, odor-free. Really important. Manners, it's important that the staff knows the menu, knows the beverages, they can pronounce the menu, pronounce the beverages. Everyone's polite with the guest as well as the staff. It's really important to have, if you're not friendly with your staff, the same won't happen with your guests. And everyone smiles. That's really important. You're going to need to leave your issues at home. Service, you want to list the proper wine service, know how to say the names of the wines, what type of wine's being served, if there's 2 wines at a course, which is best to serve with which type of food. Proper level of beverages, list proper or type of service from left and clockwise. some items that are important about behavior are gum, talking, cell phones, leaning on walls, walking versus running, employee entrances. So I'm going to start back.